Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, with the elections just around the corner, are you prepared to vote?
And one Torrance police officer receives an award for his heroic acts that saved a life.
Then we celebrate a big birthday with one of Torrance's oldest residents.
Plus, veterans and members of the armed forces receive a special surprise at the pump over Memorial Day weekend.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. On June 7th, voters across the country will head to the polls for the presidential primary elections. Residents here in Torrance will also have the chance to make big decisions on the local level. 3 seats are open on the city council. 6 candidates will be on the ballot, including incumbents Mike Griffiths and Jeff Rizzo, along with Gangman Ng, Milton Herring, Leilani Kimmel, D'Agostino, and Asim Sheikh. Voters will also need to decide on California Proposition 50 and Measure K. To learn more about these measures or to find your polling location, you can go to votersedge.org or torrancevotes.org. Currently, Torrance has more than 84,000 registered voters. Now, during the last election in 2014, more than 23,000 ballots were placed. Our news team will have full coverage as the results come in on the special late-night edition of Newsbreak.
After a recent murder-suicide on UCLA's campus that left one professor and a former student dead, the investigation continues on to find out what led the shooter to kill his former professor. The active shooter incident prompted the campus to be on lockdown and classes were canceled for the day. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has many tips on their website that can help people in an active shooter situation. First, it is recommended to try to evacuate the location and have a planned escape route. Now, if you can't evacuate right away, hide in an area out of the shooter's view. Block entry to your hiding place and silence your phone. Your last resort should be to take action if your life is in danger. Act with physical aggression and throw items at the active shooter. Active shooter situations are unpredictable and random. For more information, you can go to dhs.gov.
A new law went into effect recently that allows startups to raise money through equity crowdfunding online. The South Bay Entrepreneurial Center hosted an event to help people better understand the Jobs Act. Common Sense producer and host Laura Fong tells us more.
The big difference is going to be access to capital. You'll see a lot of businesses that generally would not have had access to capital being able to start up.
Joshua Escalante Troche is a management and entrepreneurship professor at El Camino College. He was one of about 24 people who attended the South Bay Entrepreneurial Center's panel-style event called Crowdfunding Trends in 2016.
To get a better understanding of the opportunities, but also the liabilities and the requirements so that students, as they come in and want to start their own businesses or own their own businesses and want to expand them, had a better understanding on how to advise them.
The event comes as Title III of the Jumpstart Our Business Startups, or Jobs Act, went into effect on May 16, 2016. It allows startups and small businesses to raise money through equity crowdfunding online. That means regular people can now give money to companies in return for stock in their business.
Before the Jobs Act, businesses could only get money from accredited investors. That would mean that you would need a net worth of more than $1 million, not including your home. Since the rules have changed, so have some of the risks.
The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission warns startups only have to share a limited amount of information. Plus, there's the possibility of fraud. And with any investment, there's a risk of losing it all.
I think that investors have their own ways of doing their due diligence. Sometimes they believe in the company, sometimes they believe in the product, sometimes they believe in the leadership.
Gary Polk is the executive director of the SBEC. He clarifies that people have been doing a donor-style crowdfunding in the past, but now people who give money to a business can get shares of the company.
I just think that it's not going to be a panacea. It's not going to be a situation where it solves every item. It's just another avenue, another opportunity.
Title III of the Jobs Act has opened up a lot of possibilities for businesses to grow and for regular people to invest. While Polk and Professor Troche see the value in the new law, they also know only time will tell how beneficial it is. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Laura Fong.
Thanks, Laura. There are some limitations to the new rules, including a cap on how much businesses can raise a year and how much people can invest based on their income and net worth.
A Torrance police officer received a prestigious award for his quick actions. This year marked the 42nd annual South Bay Medal of Valor Luncheon, which was held at the Torrance Marriott. The sold-out event invited supporters from across the South Bay. 13 police officers and 1 firefighter from various South Bay cities were honored for their courage. Among the recipients was Torrance police officer Chong Vo, who received a life-saving award for his courageous act while off duty. Now, in 2015, Vo was taking his child to school when he was approached for help. Vo ended up helping an elderly man suffering from a heart attack. He immediately took action and performed CPR.
I was confident in knowing my training, and I just reacted based on how I was trained, and I was fortunate to be there at the right time, right place to be able to do that. And he did. When he came back to life, it was a good feeling. It was a relief, because it's not often when you get an opportunity to bring someone back.
It's also meaningful to the departments that have officers being recognized to know that there is a public out there that recognizes and appreciates what they do.
Recipients are nominated by their respective chiefs, and then the nomination is sent to the South Bay Police and Fire Memorial Foundation Committee. Each application is reviewed and voted on. Along with the Life-Saving Award, the Distinguished Service and the Medal of Valor Awards were also presented. Torrance's police department is among the 9 South Bay police and fire agencies involved in the annual event.
The business community learned about the bright future of education across the South Bay. The State of Education, an annual event put on by the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, brought together leaders from different colleges and the Torrance Unified School District. This year, panelists were Dr. Ellen Jun, the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs from Cal State Dominguez Hills, Dr. Dina Maloney, who is the President of El Camino College, and Dr. George Mannon, the Superintendent from TUSD. The panel gave an update on the workforce development within the educational system and educated attendees on what educators are trying to achieve.
It's how connected we are in working with such things as STEM, how our Common Core folds right in to be to develop analytical thinkers for the next steps at El Camino or at Cal State Dominguez.
During the State of Education address, Dr. Mannon talked about Torrance's high school graduation rate that is between 96 and 99.9%. He also added that 69% of the students last year passed advanced placement test. Other big news announced during the event was that 12 elementary schools in Torrance were named California Gold Ribbon Schools. For El Camino College President Dina Maloney, it was her first time attending the event. Maloney says opportunities and services are continuously growing at El Camino College. During the panel discussion, she noted the importance of placing students in the highest math and English courses through placement test. She also talked about the Honor Transfer Program, which has a high transfer rate to the UC system.
They participate in research conferences. They get weekly texts and emails and support from the faculty and staff in the program. And many of them are very, very successful. The majority transfer to the institution of their choice within 2 years of entering El Camino College.
Dr. Ellen Jun from Cal State Dominguez Hills says partnerships between colleges and students in K through 12 is vital. John also mentioned the unique degree programs they offer, including a bachelor's degree in global logistics.
We're actively exploring these new digital media kinds of careers and degrees. And then our campus does not currently have engineering, but we're now in the process of starting a master's degree in systems engineering.
Panelists answered questions from the audience to kick off different topics of discussions.
Top West High School seniors were honored on the state level for going above and beyond just academics. Students who have made significant achievements in academics and community service received a seal bearer status within the California Scholarship Federation. It's called the Life Membership Highest Honor. These students have dedicated hundreds of hours in service to the South Bay community while maintaining top grades in high-level classes.
I'm very proud of myself, and it makes me feel successful after doing a long time of work and hours of commitment to a club. It's nice to be awarded this certificate and the pin.
The students we're honoring tonight specifically are the best in our organization.
The California Scholarship Federation is a statewide organization to honor outstanding high school students. CSF members who are part of the foundation during a 4-semester period based on their sophomore and senior grades become seal bearers. State Assemblyman David Hadley is also a seal bearer and delivered an encouraging speech about education. 200 West High School students are CSF members.
City of Torrance continued its tradition of remembering fallen military personnel from Torrance on Memorial Day.
Richard O'Brien, Vladimir Obading.
It was a packed Memorial Plaza as Torrance city leaders, community members, law enforcement, and fire personnel came out to remember the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice. 146 names of fallen soldiers were read out loud from World War I to the Afghanistan wars. The memorial wall, located on the corner of Torrance Boulevard and Maple Avenue, has engraved names of Torrance residents who have died in battle. Each reader who announced the names were also veterans from various wars. One man at this ceremony has been part of the tradition since the memorial wall idea came about.
I feel part of me is here, and these names, they all represent somebody who died in combat, which means they died in pain, violently. They didn't fall asleep in their beds at old age. And it means a lot to me because I could be on that wall very easily.
We invite people to come out for, as I say, this very short ceremony, and at least it draws attention whether people are able to get here and be part of it. They know that we're drawing attention to these deceased service people.
It took the city 2 years from conception to actually constructing the wall. In 2003, the monument had an official dedication ceremony. The wall stands 5 feet high and 12 feet in length. Thanks to volunteers, the Torrance Historical Society is continuing to gather and preserve the life story of each name on the wall. So far, the organization is halfway to their goal of putting a face to each name. Since the dedication, 3 more names have been added to the wall.
And for one company, Memorial Day weekend was also a time to say thank you to the veterans and current armed forces members in a special way. Honda Helpful Guys in Blue took over the Valero gas station on the corner of 190th Street and Prairie Avenue. Veterans and active military men and women were surprised with a free tank of gas. Now, usually Honda Helpful Guys fill up tanks only for Honda cars, but during this event, they gave away 1 full tank to each armed forces member and veteran, no matter what car they drove.
It helped me by giving me some gas and them telling me thank you for being a veteran. So that's also awesome on Memorial Day.
It's the greatest job because we get to see happy faces, thrilled faces, surprised faces every day. People are shocked that we're real, that all those things on TV are actually real, and we're just being helpful.
Now, some Honda drivers who pulled into this Valero also lucked out with the free fill-up thanks to Honda's big free gas tanker. AAA says that more than 40% of Americans hit the road during Memorial Day weekend.
I think it's amazing. It's a wonderful thing to be doing out there. People in need. I think it's amazing.
The SoCal Honda Dealers Helpful campaign aims to bring random acts of helpfulness to residents all over Southern California. You can follow the Helpful Honda Guys on social media. Just go to their Facebook page, facebook.com/SoCal Honda Dealers.
Well, still ahead, we'll take you to the most recent ribbon-cutting ceremonies in the city of Torrance.
Plus, we've got one of the biggest birthday celebrations in town coming up. But first, here's a look at the weather outside.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills? Check. Driver's license? Check. And a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that. You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 Wonders of the World.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
A hotel in Torrance reopens after undergoing renovations. Redac Gateway Hotel relaunched in Torrance recently. Hotel officials say they are looking to cater to people traveling between Japan and the United States. Redac finished remodeling some of the common areas to better accommodate guests. The hotel, located on Western Avenue, plans to provide a base for clients where they can explore Southern California and the United States until they are comfortable to make long-term business and residential plans. It is a full-service hotel with 102 rooms and offers customers many amenities like access to a business and fitness center.
Well, it was an official coming home celebration recently. On the steps of the Torrance Community Credit Union, city leaders and employees officially welcomed its old home back again after 30 years. This location at 1511 Cravens Avenue was the credit union's original office before it moved into what was known back then as the new City Hall building. It was built 25 years after the city of Torrance was founded. TCCU was granted its charter on September 10, 1958, and opened with just 15 members, but now it has a membership of nearly 7,200 people with more than $117 million in assets.
We've purchased the building and done a lot of renovations, tried to preserve some of the style of the building on the outside and created something a little more modern on the inside. So we're celebrating that.
Today's event shows the absolute best in historic preservation of what's called an adaptive reuse of a building, keeping all the best and enhancing it and bringing it back to its proud self once again with the Torrance Community Credit Union.
Officials from the credit union say it was a strategic move to be located in central Torrance. The majority of its memberships are still with Torrance City employees, and over time it has expanded to include selected businesses and groups around the South Bay. The credit union has been in this new location for 2 months already.
It was a fairy tale experience for soon-to-be brides. From a grooving runway with some of the trendiest bridal wear, Southern California's top wedding vendors and exhibitors packed the Torino Festival Plaza at the most recent Bridal Expo LA called Love is in the Air. People enjoyed live music, tasted wedding cakes, learned about catering and bridal registry discounts for their big day.
What's very unique about this expo is that we, first of all, included Macy's in the fashion show, so you're able to find anything that Macy's carries, and they did a wonderful job. They also have a great registry where you get 10% from anything that's on the registry that you have.
For soon-to-be brides, they were excited to take advantage of the one-stop shop.
I wanted to get some last-minute inspiration to add some details to my wedding and just have a great time with my maid of honor.
The expo was hosted by Fairy Tale Wedding. A new Asian grocery store is one step closer to opening its doors to the public. Located at 4340 Pacific Coast Highway in the shopping center at Vista, Montana, H Mart is in its final phase of construction. The store is 43,000 square feet and offers local fresh produce. H Mart is an Asian-inspired supermarket that started in 1982 in Queens, New York. The store CEO says that H Mart has worked to provide quality Korean food and service to communities. The chain has stores throughout the United States, Canada, and London. They currently have 7 locations in California. You can go to hmart.com for more information on what they offer.
High school students can get a head start on college this summer. El Camino College is offering free summer classes to eligible high school juniors and seniors who want to earn college credits while still in high school. College officials say it's a great way for students to start early on earning a college degree, and most importantly, will help them prepare for the college curriculum. It's an 8-week summer session that starts June 20th, and the second 6-week session starts July 12th. Students must be a California resident to be eligible for a free waiver. Students can go to elcamino.edu to submit an application.
Federal and state health officials are investigating an E. coli outbreak. General Mills announced a voluntary recall of more than 10 million pounds of flour. There have been 38 E. coli cases across 20 states, with 10 of the cases leading to hospitalization. Officials say illnesses occurred between December 21st and May 3rd. It involves gold medal, Wondra, and signature flours. While E. coli has not been found in any of these products, the company says that some of the ill patients had consumed raw dough or batter. These brands are commonly sold at Safeway, Albertsons, and Vons. The strand of E. coli they are dealing with is potentially E. coli O121, which can be deadly. If you have any questions, you can call 1-800-230-8103. Well, still ahead, the one and only Colin Boomsauce Kushner has the sports coming up right after this.
We'll have that and much more. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full. Keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got some upcoming events you won't want to miss. The Madrona Marsh Nature Center and Preserve will have a special exhibit on display for a short amount of time. Starting June 7th, Stephen West exhibit, a 10-year reflection on the marsh, will be available for the public to view. It will run through July 15th, and you can visit for free. And you can help a child in need. The Children's Bureau Carson office will host an informative meeting about fostering or adopting a child on Saturday, June 11th, from 10 a.m. to noon. There are approximately 64,000 children in foster care in the state. To RSVP or for more information, you can call 213-342-0168. And we have a sneak peek at what's in store on the next Sports Desk.
That's right. What do you have for us, Colin?
Thanks, Jin and Ben. We have a jam-packed show once again. Are you surprised? Didn't think so. Softball playoffs roll on. We'll get you CIF highlights and scores from all over town. Plus, I'll get you the amazing story of West High senior Matt Stearns, from overlooked prep star to Division II bound collegiate athlete. You won't want to miss his inspirational journey. That's 4 and 9:30 p.m. right here on CitiCABLE. Boom sauce, Jin and Ben. Back to you.
Thanks, Colin. One Torrance resident recently celebrated her 106th birthday. That's right, 106th birthday. Torrance City Cable Tao Ta was there for the festivities.
She's lived through 2 world wars and the Great Depression.
I would say happy birthday to you, but I don't want you to hang up, you know.
Well, we're having quite a party here.
And as Zora Seligan celebrates her 106th birthday at her Torrance home, where she's lived for the past 55 years, close family and friends gave toast to another year ahead.
For the past about 6 years, we've been celebrating month-anniversaries. We celebrate the 25th of each month as her month-anniversary.
I'm feeling pretty happy to think so many people are interested in a person of my age.
Even at her age, Zora has an impressive memory and is always on the go.
She wouldn't hesitate to correct me when I would say, oh, that happened in such and such a year.
she would say, no, that was like 1973. And she, and that could happen last week, and she would still remember it happened in 1973, and she'd be right.
She's proved that a little fun doesn't hurt either. In fact, her family renewed her driver's license, and she drove until she was 103 years old.
I guess they parked their car in front of the garage so she couldn't get it out. Hard to keep a good gal down.
And when we asked Zora what her secret to a long, healthy life was, it was pretty simple.
Longevity in the family is very helpful. My mother was 97, and my father had relatives that were well past 95. And then the idea of having a good appetite, there's no particular secret that people wouldn't know if they would just follow the rules.
No secret other than keeping her loved ones close.
I hope she's here forever so we can come and celebrate again next year and the year after.
And the way she's going, she might very well make it.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Tao Tao.
Thanks, Tao. Zora was recently on an episode of Senior Scene, which you can catch on Torrance's CitiCable's YouTube channel. Zora was born in 1910.
Wow, happy birthday to Zora. That's amazing.
She's a century and 6 years old.
Exactly.
A century and 6 years old. Wow. That does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Jin Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. She pitched her. She can go to a store that does vape.